Before you were born, before breath filled your lungs, before you even had a name, you had a number. Not a number written by human hands, but by vibration. A frequency whispered into existence when your soul crossed from light into matter. This number is more than date or data. It is your signature in the infinite. The universe counts itself through you. Each day, each birth is not random. It is geometry incarnate. And though most forget, the universe never does. Numbers are the original language of creation. Long before words, long before prayers, reality itself spoke in rhythm and proportion. Every star follows numeric law. Every heartbeat keeps cosmic time. To those who can hear, numbers are not symbols. They are souls in motion. When you arrived on Earth, the day you were born imprinted a vibration upon your being. That vibration shaped your path, your temperament, the lessons your soul came to master. It's why some people seem born to lead, some to heal, some to rebel, and some to dream. It's not coincidence, it's correspondence. The calendar is merely the veil, the code is beneath. The ancients knew this. The Pythagoreans call numbers living beings. Egyptian mystics carved them into stone, not as math, but as memory. Kabbalists, Hermeticists, and astrologers all pointed to the same truth. Every soul vibrates with a numerical archetype, a divine echo of the cosmic order. And if you listen closely, you can hear your number speaking through the rhythm of your life. The challenges that repeat, the strengths that never leave, the emotions that always return to teach. Each one is your frequency, remembering itself. But tonight, we will decode it together. We will step beyond calendars and dates, and into the sacred architecture of your soul, where numbers are not mathematics, but mirrors. Each number group carries its own archetypal flame, a tone of consciousness through which the universe experiences itself. Some were born of fire, meant to endure. Some were born of water, meant to heal. Some of air, meant to seek truth. Some of earth, meant to create beauty. And some, born between realms, came to awaken the sleepers. Your number is your map, your myth, your magnetic pull through destiny. And though the paths differ, they all lead back to the same truth. You are the universe, counting itself awake. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your birthday resting behind your eyelids, like coordinates on a star chart. Each digit hums. Each pattern vibrates. Each repetition means something. Now listen, if you were born on the 1st, 8th, 5th, 10th, or 26th of any month, your soul vibrates with the frequency of endurance. You, dear one, were forged in fire. The energy of 1 and 8 burns with the pulse of creation itself. Strong, determined, unyielding. 1 is initiation, the spark that dares to begin. 8 is infinity folded upon itself. Power, learning, humility. Together, they form the archetype of the endurer. You came into this world with spine and spirit aligned, meant to meet resistance and transmute it into strength. Challenges do not chase you. They are magnetized to you, for you carry the alchemy to transform them. Where others flee the storm, you walk straight into it, not out of recklessness, but remembrance. Somewhere inside you, you know the fire cannot burn what is already made of light. Life has tested you early and often. Doors closed, plans crumbled. People left, and each time the ground shook. But you stood again, because standing is your sacred act. You are the steel that knows its strength only through heat. You are the oak that finds its depth through wind. You are the mountain that measures time, not in minutes, but in centuries of becoming. But endurance is not only survival, it is transcendence. The Endure spiritual lesson is sovereignty, learning that true power is not domination, but steadiness. To lead not by control, but by example. To hold the flame when others lose sight of the light. You may not see it, but people orbit your strength. They come to you when their world falls apart, because they can feel it. The calm gravity of someone who's been through storms and still believes in dawn. The vibration of your number teaches the universe what perseverance looks like when shaped by love instead of fear. And when you rise, others rise too. Take a slow breath. Feel the invisible armor you've built from every heartbreak, every trial. Notice how it's not metal, it's light, warm, steady, radiant. You don't carry the scars of your past. You carry their wisdom. That is your power, endurer. You are the proof that resilience is holy. Now, the cosmic current shifts. If you were born on the 2nd, 6th, 16th, or 23rd, your number hums with water, the vibration of feeling, empathy, and connection. You are the empath soul. If your birthday falls on the 2nd, 6th, 16th, or 23rd, your soul carries the vibration of the moon and the Seath, frequency of the empath soul. Your number hums softly, in waves. 2 is the mirror. 6 is the nurturer. Together they form a sacred chord of compassion. You were born to feel the world deeply, to sense what others hide, to translate emotion into understanding. Empaths are not weak. They are translators of the invisible. Your nervous system is an antenna tuned to frequencies most people ignore. You absorb pain the way ocean tides absorb rivers, effortlessly, silently. Sometimes it overwhelms you. You mistake others' storms for your own weather. Yet within that sensitivity lies your greatest gift, the ability to heal by presence alone. Your number teaches balance between giving and receiving. The universe asks you to remember that empathy without boundaries becomes erosion. When you learn to anchor your heart to love without losing yourself, you become medicine incarnate. Feel this now. Place your palm over your heart. Imagine a silver light pulsing beneath it, rhythmic, tidal. With each breath, the light expands outward, touching others, but always returning, replenishing you. That is your sacred rhythm, compassion in motion, never depletion. Because of you, the world remembers kindness. You are the quiet voice that reminds the collective. Feeling is not weakness. It is wisdom remembering its softness. And when you master that softness, your frequency elevates to harmony itself. The divine listens through your heart. If you were born on the 3rd, 9th, 18th, or 25th, you carry the radiant code of the seeker, the vibration of fire turned into insight. 3 is expression, 9 is completion. Together they form the spiral of eternal learning. Your soul arrived here, hungry for truth, for understanding, for the geometry behind existence. Seekers live in questions. While others crave comfort, you crave clarity. You sense that wisdom is not possession, but pilgrimage, and every experience, pleasure, or pain is a library of revelation. Books, teachers, philosophies, they're your compass points. Yet the real quest is inward, for all outer knowledge echoes an inner remembering. You learn not merely to collect facts, but to distill them into meaning. Each heartbreak becomes scripture. Each success, humility. Each failure, initiation. The number 9, your guiding digit, carries humanitarian light. It calls you to share what you discover, to illuminate paths for those still lost in fog. Seekers are torches. You do not impose truth, you embody curiosity. You show the world that enlightenment is not an end point, but an ever-expanding horizon. Close your eyes. See yourself standing on a vast desert of stars. In your hand, a lantern. Every answer you find lights another flame across that sky. This is how the universe learns, through your questioning, through your courage to not know. Sometimes you'll wander so far into study that you forget to live. When that happens, remember, wisdom needs breath, not just thought. Walk barefoot on earth. Let sunlight strike your eyes. Let mystery remain sacred. Truth is not conquered, it is courted. You, seeker, are the heartbeat of evolution itself, the curiosity of the cosmos, exploring itself through human wonder. If your birthday falls on the 4th, 10th, 17th, or 27th, you are attuned to the vibration of Earth, and you are the artisan. 4 is structure, 10 is manifestation. Together they hum with the rhythm of creation made tangible. Where others see chaos, you see pattern. Where others see material, you see miracle. Artisans are builders of beauty, whether through painting, words, gardens, inventions, or simply the way you arrange a moment, you bring invisible harmony into visible shape. To you, creativity is Puran act that says, I trust the divine enough to imitate its art. Your number carries the lesson of craftsmanship, devotion to process. You understand that the sacred hides in repetition, the brushstroke, the melody practiced again, the clay reshaped until it breathes. Patience is your alchemy, perseverance, your palette. But beware perfection's trap. The same vision that drives your excellence can turn inward as criticism. Remember, creation is alive, never finishes, it only evolves. The universe itself is a work in progress. Take a breath. Picture your hands glowing with gold light, each fingertip a spark of inspiration. As you exhale, imagine that light flowing into your work, whatever it may be. Feel gratitude for the privilege of creation, the ability to translate spirit into substance. You artisan, remind the world that divinity is not only in temples or skies. It is in the act of making, in the courage to bring form to feeling. Because of you, beauty exists as bridge between the seen and the unseen, between heaven and human hands. The empath heals the heart. The seeker ignites the mind. The artisan builds the world. And yet the symphony continues, rising toward subtler octaves, the mystics, hermits, guidelights, and rebels who will carry this cosmic chorus forward. If your birthday falls on the 5th, 7th, 19th, or 28th, you carry the vibration of storm and silence, combined the code of the mystic. 5 is freedom, 7 is inner vision. Together they hum with the mathematics of awakening. You are the one who questions everything, not from rebellion, but from reverence. You can feel that reality is larger than the visible world, and that behind every event hums a hidden design. From an early age, you sensed at moments of déjà vu, uncanny intuition, dreams that spoke in symbol rather than story. The mundane never satisfied you. You were drawn to the threshold between science and spirit, to the edges where language dissolves into knowing. You are not afraid of the void, you listen to it. Mystics are the philosophers of feeling. They carry the wisdom that cannot be learned, only remembered. When others panic at uncertainty, you lean into it because you know that the unknown is alive. Every silence is pregnant with revelation. Your path is not easy. Isolation visits often. Misunderstanding trails behind. But solitude, for you, is not exile, it is initiation. You meet the divine not through sermons, but through direct experience. The flicker of a candle, the rhythm of breath, the vast hush of night when everything stops pretending. Your number teaches the world the sacred paradox, that to know everything, you must be willing to know nothing. In that surrender, infinity opens. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly. Imagine your spine as a column of light, stretching upward into the cosmos. On the exhale, feel that light descend into the ground, anchoring you between heaven and earth. You are the bridge, the human spine of God. Mystics translate energy into understanding. You see patterns in people's lives, in the collective weather of emotion, in history, repeating its lessons. You are both witness and participant in humanity's awakening. And though your journey often feels solitary, you are never alone. The universe walks beside you in silence, whispering, "Remember." You, mystic, are the proof that the soul can think and that the mind can pray. You remind the collective that reason and reverence are not enemies, they are lovers. Reunited, if your birthday falls on the 11th, 24th, or 30th, your soul vibrates with the frequency of the hermit. 11 is illumination to pillars of duality, bridged by light. 24 adds the element of grounded wisdom. 30 brings completion through expression. Together, these numbers form a sacred triangle of solitude, reflection, and transmission. Hermits are seekers who have stopped seeking because they finally found stillness. You carry the lamp of discernment. Where others rush into noise, you retreat into quiet. In that quiet, you hear everything. For you, silence is not absence. It is presence amplified. You can sit alone for hours, days even, and emerge richer than before, because solitude is your temple. Within that space, the world's chaos dissolves, and truth begins to hum like a tuning fork behind your ribs. The hermit's path is steeped in reflection. You observe before you act. You weigh words before you speak. You understand that wisdom isn't about knowing more, it's about perceiving deeper. At times, this life can feel lonely. People may misread your withdrawal as coldness, but you know it's love that makes you step back. You sense the sanctity of energy exchange, and you refuse to scatter yours. Your task is to turn solitude into service. Every insight you harvest in silence is meant to be shared, not hoarded. The lantern you carry was never only for you. It's for those still wandering. You are the night watcher who keeps the flame when the rest of the world sleeps. Take a breath. Feel the air enter the quiet cave of your lungs. With every inhale, hear the echo of your own heartbeat reverberate through eternity. That sound, the steady rhythm of life itself, is the same pulse that moves the tides, the same beat that drives galaxies to spin. You, hermit, are listening to the cosmos through your own chest. In your numbers, vibration 11. The 2 stands for duality, and the 1 between them is the bridge. You embody that bridge, spirit and matter, solitude and unity, thought and love. When you share what you've learned, even in few words, those words carry weight beyond measure. The world needs hermits now more than ever, not as escapees, but as keepers of clarity. When collective noise grows deafening, you become the ear through which the divine remembers its own calm. You may not lead crowds or command applause. Your contribution is subtler but mightier. You anchor sanity. Because of you, others remember stillness. The mystic questions. The hermit listens to aspects of the same wisdom. 2 mirrors reflecting the quiet majesty of inner truth. And yet the cosmic wheel continues to turn, ushering in the final vibrations. Those who guide, those who rebel, those who illuminate the path for others to follow. If your birthday falls on the 12th, 13th, 21st, or 29th, you embody the frequency of the gut light. 12 holds the sacred geometry of completion, the 12 months, 12 signs, 12 phases through which creation cycles. 13 breaks the pattern to reveal hidden order. It is the number of transformation, often misunderstood, but profoundly divine. 21 hums with maturity, the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. 29 carries the vibration of the teacher, the elder soul who has lived through lifetimes of learning and now returns to guide. Guidelights are those rare beings who blend knowledge with warmth. They are the mentors, the quiet teachers, the friend who knows exactly when to speak and when to listen. When others lose direction, you appear not to command, but to remind. You've lived many versions of yourself already. The pain you've endured has carved empathy into your voice. Then, when you speak, others feel not just your words, but the wisdom behind them. The echo of lessons learned through fire, heartbreak, and grace. Guidelights are not born leaders. They become them through devotion to growth. Your number carries the vibration of service through example. You guide not because you know everything, but because you walk the path with humility, allowing others to see your humanness and still trust your light. Your spiritual task is to teach balance between helping and enabling. Because you are generous with energy, others may lean too heavily on you. Learn to shine without sacrificing your flame. Close your eyes. See a single golden lantern floating in the dark. Its glow does not chase the darkness. It simply exists, and the darkness transforms in its presence. That is you. The more you align with your truth, the brighter your world becomes. When you share your wisdom through art, conversation, or silent example, the universe amplifies it. The ripples you create travel through unseen dimensions, touching lives you may never meet. This is the quiet power of the guidelight, influence through authenticity. The guidelight archetype lives at the intersection of compassion and strength. It is the vibration of those who remind humanity that leadership is not dominance, is stewardship. Because of you, others remember that they are never truly lost. They've only forgotten how to listen to their own light. If you were born on the 14th, 20th, 22nd, or 31st, you carry the fire of the rebel. 14 is the number of freedom through change. 20 balances duality through expression. 22 is the master builder vision made structure. And 31 is 3 and 1, the Trinity finding its voice. The rebel archetype is misunderstood. You are not here to destroy, you are here to reform. You sense where systems suffocate, where truths have fossilized, and your spirit refuses to pretend that comfort equals peace. You are evolution in human form. Your energy is catalytic. When you enter a room, stagnation stirs. People may misread this as chaos, but it is creation preparing to expand. Where others see limits, you see potential. You challenge rules not because you crave rebellion, but because your soul is allergic to confinement. You are wired to ask, why? Why should we fear change? Why should we obey what no longer serves? Why not imagine something better? And when those questions ignite, entire paradigms begin to shift. But rebellion without wisdom becomes destruction. Your lesson is discernment, knowing when to burn bridges and when to illuminate them. The vibration of 22 calls you to build, even as you break. Your purpose is not only to expose illusion, but to construct new realities in its place. You stand at the frontier of consciousness. You are the thunder before awakening, the storm that cracks open the sky so light can enter. Take a deep breath. Feel that wild current running through your veins. It is sacred fire. With it, you can transform systems, art, and culture itself. But only when you root it in love. When anger fuels you, you destroy. When vision fuels you, you create. You are the bridge between revolution and revelation. At times, you will walk alone. The world often fears those who carry tomorrow's light. But solitude does not mean exile, it means calibration. You are being tuned to a frequency that few can hear until they are ready. Your number's gift is evolution. Every time you challenge a lie, truth grows stronger. Every time you free yourself, the collective expands. Close your eyes. See yourself standing before a crumbling wall. You touch it gently, and light seeps through the cracks. That is your destiny, not to demolish the world, but to let new worlds shine through the fractures of the old. Rebels are prophets, disguised as misfits. You don't wait for permission because your soul already knows it has authority. When you act from love, even your defiance becomes prayer. Because of you, humanity remembers that freedom is sacred, and that every era of awakening begins with a single soul brave enough to say, "No more illusions." The guide light uplifts. The rebel transforms. Together, they form the twin flames of leadership, one steady, one wild, one that nurtures, one that ignites. They are the sunrise and the lightning strike, both necessary for the sky to awaken. And still, beyond them, there is one final revelation, the collective harmony, where all archetypes meet the soul of humanity itself. So now you've seen them, the endurer, the empath, the seeker, the artisan, the mystic, the hermit, the guidelight, the rebel. 8 frequencies of one eternal symphony. Different tones, but the same melody. The universe exploring itself through human form. Each archetype is not separate from the others. It is a phase of the same awakening. You may recognize pieces of many within you, for your soul is not static. As you evolve, you rotate through these vibrations, mastering their lessons one by one until they spiral back into unity. When you suffer and keep going, you live as the endurer. When you open your heart to another's pain, you become the empath. When you question everything, you are the seeker. When you create beauty out of chaos, you awaken the artisan. When you dive into mystery, you are the mystic. When you listen within, you are the hermit. When you guide others, you shine as the guidelight. And when you rise against illusion, you roar as the rebel. You are not one number. You are the entire equation. The divine scattered its knowledge into countless souls, so that through each of us, it could remember the totality of itself. Look again at the date of your birth. What once seemed ordinary, a number on a calendar, is actually coordinates of consciousness. A code through which infinity entered form. You are living proof that mathematics and miracles are one and the same. When Hermes Trismegistus carved the words, "As above, so below," into the emerald tablet, he was speaking to you. He was reminding humanity that what happens in the heavens echoes in our hearts, that every number, every vibration, is the dialogue between soul and cosmos. Your birth was not random. It was resonance. Imagine the night you were born. The planets held their breath. The stars arranged their light in patterns of meaning. And through that alignment, a doorway opened, your doorway. Through it, your soul stepped into the world, carrying a vibration the universe needed at that precise moment in time. That vibration is still unfolding. Every decision you make, every lesson you learn, every act of love or defiance sends ripples through eternity. You are a chord in the divine song. Without your note, the harmony is incomplete. This is why comparison is illusion. The empath cannot be the rebel's fire, and the rebel cannot replace the hermit's stillness. Each archetype exists to keep the collective balanced. Without the endurer, humanity forgets resilience. Without the seeker, it forgets curiosity. Without the artisan, it forgets beauty. Without the mystic, it forgets faith. Without the guidelight, it forgets compassion. Without the rebel, it forgets freedom. Together, we form a living mandala of consciousness. Every number, every being, a petal in the infinite flower of creation. And when we recognize our interconnectedness, the whole mandala begins to glow. Take a slow breath. Feel your heart synchronizing with this truth. You are part of something vast, ancient, and intelligent. When you breathe, stars expand. When you love, galaxies realign. When you awaken, the entire field rises with you. Numbers were never meant to limit you. They are mirrors of the limitless. They show where you are focused now, not where you must remain. The vibration of your birth number is the opening chord of your lifetime, but the song itself is yours to compose. Let that thought sink deep into your being. You were not born to repeat, you were born to remember. The number of your birth was the first whisper of that remembrance. The rest unfolds through choice, through courage, through love. In the end, all the archetypes converge into one, the awakened. Soul, the being who has realized that the numbers were never separate digits, but facets of the same light refracting through different lives. You are that light, refracted now through the lens of your humanity. And when you look within and see the divine geometry pulsing beneath your skin, you realize the universe has been counting your heartbeat all along. That is what it means to awaken, to see that every number, every pattern, every breath, and every lifetime is the same consciousness, rearranging itself into new art forms. Close your eyes. Imagine all the numbers hovering in a circle before you, glowing like constellations. 1 through 31, shining, spinning, merging into a single sphere of light. Now see that sphere dissolving into your chest until there is no separation. The code and the coder have become one. You are the living equation of infinity. The stars whisper your name in numbers. The earth hums it in heartbeat. Every experience you've ever had was part of the formula leading you back here, to remembrance, to awe, to truth. And now you remember. You were never just a number. You were never just a birthday. You are the universe, awake in human form, counting itself through time, and through you, creation continues to unfold. The final revelation and call to action. If these words found you, it means your soul is ready to decode its own vibration. Take a moment and write your birth number in the comments below, not as data, but as declaration. Let the constellation of souls gather. When you share your number, you send a signal through the collective grid, telling the universe, I remember who I am. Subscribe to this channel, not just for another video, but as a spiritual act, a way of staying connected to this temple of remembrance. Each story we share here adds a new note to the cosmic harmony. And as you leave this space tonight, remember, you are the geometry of divinity. You are the mathematics of miracles. You are the infinite, learning to speak through a single, sacred number. As above, so below. As within, so without. As you awaken, so the universe celebrates.